pretty much the whole story of the EP happened in 2017. It was the weirdest year of my life, pretty much.
Joined in the studio today by Frazer. How you doing, man?
I'm good, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for coming in today. We're going to be chatting about your new EP, which obviously came out at the end of September. But before we do that, tell us a bit about you as an artist. How would you kind of describe yourself?
So me as an artist, I would never call myself a rapper or a singer. People call it both things, but I just say I make music. I create any type of music that I feel is appropriate at the time and how I'm feeling at the time. But if I had to put it in a box, it would be sort of alternative trap, hip hop, a bit of R&B.
Yeah, fair.
If I had to label it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are quite keen to put labels and people and artists and things, aren't they? Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a better way of putting it is similar artists.
Yeah.
But then again, comparing yourself to other artists is quite unhealthy as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know, similar artists. Well, artists that have influenced my sound for the majority is most likely like Young Thug. So it will be trap artists.
Yeah.
Which is why people like to put the rap label on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned one of your influences there. How did you get into music in the first place? Like, take us right back to the start.
Right back to the start of me getting into music was probably when I was about 6 years old. I took up playing guitar. My dad used to play the guitar, so I started as well. And from then I was listening to bands like Frazer and stuff like that. So I liked bands from when I was younger, and then I got into like rock. I liked Elvis Presley, and then when I was a bit older, in maybe about secondary school, my dad got me into Eminem, which is when like all the rap hip hop stuff started, and then all that progressed from there.
That's really interesting. Was he the first like big rap artist that you listened to?
Yeah. It was Eminem, which was like the start of the American wave that I was listening to. But then I was listening to a lot of English stuff as well. So I was into grime in about year 8. So I was listening to like JME. So it was kind of like a parallel situation that was going on. I was listening to grime and UK music and listening to a lot of American music as well. So it was kind of like a mix in the influence.
Yeah, definitely. And when did you start making your own music?
So before, I was always like writing lyrics on the school bus and everything like that. Like kind of like standard stuff what you would hear, like, oh yeah, he used to write lyrics when he was younger. But making my own music, I used to make beats. So I started making beats, and that's when I joined ACM, just to make beats. And then, but actually recording myself, I was hanging around in the studio with rappers at ACM and stuff like that. And I thought I might as well give it a go. So I started recording some of the lyrics that I had already had written down, pretty much.
Interesting. So when you went to ACM, you didn't have that in your mind that you would be performing lyrics and stuff? Okay.
Not at all. And yeah, so that's why I've never been the type of person to have the confidence to do anything like that. So I would never have imagined myself ever recording on a track and releasing it as an artist. I always thought I was just going to make beats for people and be a producer, pretty much. What
was that reaction like when you did do it for the first time? How did that make you feel?
I remember the first thing I ever released. It was like a freestyle video that my brother recorded near Gatwick Airport, and I released it, and then I was getting all this feedback and everything like that. It was obviously very basic because it was my first thing, but the feedback wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I anticipated just to get mugged off left, right, and centre for it, but yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Even though looking back on it, it was terrible.
It does take a lot of confidence, though, doesn't it, to put yourself out there and put your own work out there, doesn't it?
It's weird at first, and obviously you've got the thing where before you listen to yourself a lot, you hate the sound of your own voice when you hear it back on the video. Before you see yourself a lot, you hate the look of yourself when you see it back on a video. But after a while, you just get used to it. You just get used to putting it out. But at first, it's so weird.
Now you've been actually creating your own music for quite a while, and we see this on your most recent EP, Love or Lust, which came out at the end of September. Tell us about that as a work and what went into that, and how did it feel to get that out there?
So as a piece of work, I've always been very attention to detail in terms of words and meaning and stuff like that. So the whole piece of work itself is actually a conceptual, it's basically a timeline or a journey through how I was feeling chronologically. So through it, it was a certain relationship at the start of the story, and it went through to the end of the story, and it's like a progression through relationships and how I'm feeling. So putting that out as a body of work, I actually felt really proud when I released that.
A lot of the content and lyrics is really raw, like really like honest. Like, did you ever like feel like, oh man, should I be like writing about this? Like, you know.
I used to. Well, maybe a couple of years ago, I probably would have. I would have been really self-conscious about releasing anything like that, but since then I've released like little bits, which has eased me into being more comfortable in what I'm releasing. And now I just see it as a bit of art. I don't even really connect myself to it in terms of promoting it and everything like that. I connect myself to it, obviously writing it.
Yeah.
But then promoting it's just a piece of work that I've made.
Yeah. Fair enough. And we're going to hear 2 tracks off the EP, and we've obviously been playing songs from it already and loving them on the showcase. But the first one we're going to hear is Love or Lust, obviously the title track of the EP. Tell us about this track and what it's about and what's gone into that.
So yeah, it's the title track of the EP. It doesn't actually have any significant meaning that it is the title track. It's just because I say love or lust in the lyrics. But it's the 3rd track off of the EP, and it's kind of through the journey. So Another Word for Love, the 1st track, you've got the breakup story and the story of the relationship, which was toxic. The 2nd track, you've got the admission of all the mistakes in that relationship. So the 3rd track you've then got, which is Love or Lust, you've then got a reflection on the relationship and asking, was it really ever meant to be, type thing. So it's basically a reflection on a toxic relationship. That's it.
Interesting. And when you did that particular track, what about the production side of things? Did it like come first with the beats, or was it like matching the lyrics to the beats, or how did that work with this?
Oh yeah, the whole EP. So it was me and my mate Cushy Cooks, who also went to ACM. He produced the whole thing. He played the guitar and everything, and sent me the beats. So I've recorded the vocal on top of the beat. Yeah. So.
Did you not do any production work on this then? Or
Yeah, I've done all the vocal engineering.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
And I mastered it all myself as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was going to say like, you know, obviously I'd expect you to have it as being an actual producer to be doing some production on it as well.
Yeah.
Then the other track that we're going to hear is I Lied to You But You Overreacted, which is quite a different sound from Love or Lust, isn't it? So tell us about that one.
So it's a bit more of a dark sound, because it's just coming out of the toxic relationship and still explaining it. But yeah, that one's pretty much explaining a few different lies. So you can probably tell by the title of the track that I lied but you overreacted. So it's explaining a few different lies that I told during the relationship, and I'm admitting my mistakes. And yeah, it's pretty raw. It's got some nice flows on that one.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the people's favourites about the track.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. What's the reaction been from, you know, friends, family, or just anyone who's, you know, got in touch with you about it?
So obviously the single was Another Word for Love. That's got the biggest reception so far, obviously, because I put it out as a single. It's got like 45,000 streams, I think, at the moment.
That's really good.
But as a whole EP, I put this on my Instagram story the other day. Actually, I was like, "What's your favourite track of the EP?" The majority vote was between Love or Lust and Another Word for Love. But the most love I've been seeing, and the most people like sending me videos of them playing in the car and stuff, is I Lied But You Overreacted. So I'm not sure how to take it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But that's good though, that there's all this variety, and it's not like everyone just loving one track.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
actually loving all parts of it. Yeah.
A lot of the feedback actually was that every track they listened to was kind of as good as the last one. So I was quite proud of that.
I mean, that's a sign of a good work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's just happened, but what's going to be next for you? Have you got any plans in the pipeline, any like releases, or what's coming next in the world of Frazer?
So plans for me next, in terms of releasing music, I will be releasing a single next. I think I've got my next single ready, just need to be mastered. And last week I filmed 3 videos for 3 songs off of the tape, all in one day I filmed, which is a bit hectic, but so they should be out, I'm hoping by this year, maybe the end of this year, if not early next year. Got some big plans for that.
Sweet. Yeah, no, it's an exciting time for you, man. And if people want to keep up to date with you and keep their eyes and ears peeled for what you've got next, what do they need to do?
You need to search me up on any social network, Frazer XVII, or 17 Roman numerals.
Cool. Yeah, and what is the significance with that?
So 17 for me is quite a significant number, because obviously I was born on the 17th of January. 17 is my favourite album by XXX, who died a couple of years ago. And I've just always been interested in number 17. I used to do a lot of research on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few certain different things have happened in my life that have been significant to 17. The actual whole EP, pretty much the whole story of the EP happened in 2017. It was the weirdest year of my life, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. That all kind of links together. Well, make sure you give this guy a follow, keep up to date with what he's doing, bringing out these bangers, and I'm sure we'll keep on playing them on this show. Thank you so much for coming in.
No worries, man. Thank you.